The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com.
Look, I can't help but think that now might be a good time for a little fire and ice. Please,
Oh,
do not
there's
know.
never a good time for fire and ice. What happens when you mix fire and ice?
Warm water, baby. It's bubbling, baby. Warm water. Warm water.
It is time for the tipping point. Wow, no, not
okay.
the tipping point.
That's okay.
It is time for Fire and Ice. We are live over here from Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive. You saw me right there. I was watching because we got preseason football on the TVs right now, along with college football as we are in extended week 1, 0 week, whatever it is that you want to call it. We are currently in that now. We are in the throes of football. It's right here upon us, Brandon. We have gone through the river of shit like Andy Dufresne, and we are finally back with football the way the good Lord intended it to be. Dylan Gabriel actually looking halfway decent on this drive for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, absolutely. He sure does. I mean, 7-0 Cleveland right now over the Rams, 10-0 with that extra point. I should say field goal, but absolutely. I mean, it is officially here because you mentioned the game going on in Dublin right now.
Yeah.
And so it's finally real football, not just preseason football. Of course, the NFL kicks off in about a week and a half. College football kicking off today. UTEP plays a week from today.
Yeah.
My goodness, it's high school football next Friday night, actually probably Thursday. But, man, I can't believe we're finally here. You wait for it and you wait for it and you wait for it, and then all of a sudden it hits you like a ton of bricks, right?
It's like Christmas in August is what it feels like right now.
It is Christmas in August.
Yes.
Boy, am I excited.
I am too. We are live over here once again at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive. Mike Tipton, Brandon the Iceman Cone. Together we are Fire and Ice. And Brandon, our friends over here at Buffalo Wild Wings, have themselves a new-looking menu and some new specials going on now.
So we have the Pick 6 here, as you can see, for $19.99. It's a meal for two entrees. You get baby boneless wings, an all-American burger, these new crispy chicken dippers. You can upgrade if you want the buffalo chicken sandwich, beer cheese, cheesesteak. You get 2 sides, tots, wedges, and 2 fountain drinks. And then if you want, you can add a chocolate chip cookie skillet. So that's one shtick, which is there now. They also have, we like this, you and I
didn't know they had a chocolate chip cookie skillet. I'd have been all over that.
Yeah, I think we should order it soon. You can add that on for $3.99. Oh, That
The
looks
perfect
good.
meal to Lady and the Tramp with your friend.
I will share that with you. I will Lady and to Tramp that with you all day long, especially the cookie. The ultimate sampler you choose for let's see, my eyes $16.99.
Yeah.
My eyes aren't as good as yours. You can choose boneless wings, traditional, mozzarella sticks, onion rings, cheese, curds, everything pretzel knots, which you tried, fried pickles, crispy chicken dippers, these new little things. They look good. Those are like chicken tenders, basically. We're going to try those today. So those are the newest items. And, of course, you have happy hour every day, 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. every day, $2 off. Tall giraffes, $3 shorties, well drinks, and $6 apps. And these, look, you tried the new buffalo or the new everything knots. Were those good?
Yeah, they were good. They were really good, especially with the honey mustard. I'm a sucker for honey mustard. So that to me was the winner right there.
You know?
I mean, people always ask like what's the best wings and stuff like that. Like, I'm hard pressed to say that it's not here. Like, I know it's not sexy to be like, oh no, like a chain has some really, but the food here is really, otherwise we're just trying to find ourselves a new home. Like we're always looking for a good place.
Good grease.
Yeah, like
good
so.
Grease, yeah.
So the food over here at Buffalo Wild Wings never disappoints.
Never.
And it's just super awesome to be here. So we saw like what we mentioned a little earlier, the Cleveland Browns right now with the 10-0 lead over the LA Rams. Obviously, it's preseason. It's not a lot going on. The first team offense for the Browns came out looking good. Joe Flacco as the starting quarterback played the whole first quarter. Dylan Gabriel goes in there. They move the ball down the field. They get themselves a field goal. But Dylan Gabriel found himself in the news this past week because he had said a comment that some people are saying was aimed at Shedeur Sanders by saying you got entertainers and then you got competitors. I'm a competitor. I don't know if you saw the context on it or anything like that, but apparently what happened is the reporter goes up to Dylan Gabriel and says, you told me right now before everything started, like the way that you deal through it with the week, like how you're able to, block out the noise and all that stuff, especially people talking about this quarterback competition. What are the words you say? And he says, you have commentators or entertainers and you have competitors. Whenever you give it that context, it don't seem that bad. But even like Shedeur Sanders now talking, I want to say it was either yesterday or Thursday, about how, Dylan Gabriel said this. I believe that he apologized to me, but I also don't believe that he wasn't talking about me.
No, come on now. We're going to call a spade a spade. Some people like to stir up the pot. He's stirring up the pot. Some people just like to be jerks. And, look, the kid's never played it down in the NFL yet. We have yet to see how good he's going to be or how bad he's going to be. Look decent in the preseason, but we put absolutely nothing on the preseason. Let's see how he does. I mean, you're going to call him Mr. Showman or actually the real McCoy until we actually see what he does here in the regular season. Who knows when he'll get that chance to start, but that's okay because I always think I've often been a believer in you need half a season or several games to learn the system to see how it's like to be in the next level. And then eventually if your then starter is ready to groom you and get you ready to be the starter, then you become the starter, but only if you're ready though.
And I feel like Cleveland's going to stick with both the rookie quarterbacks, right? Like I know they brought in Kenny Pickett. You kind of know what you get with Kenny Pickett. You have Joe Flacco who's there. You still have Deshaun Watson. I know he's injured. He's on the roster, though. You've got a ton of quarterbacks right now in Cleveland. I feel like the easiest one to move on from would be Kenny Pickett because you can build around Shedeur Sanders, around Dylan Gabriel, maybe use one of them as a trade piece, a la what Washington did with Kirk Cousins and RG3 at a certain point in time, right? Like there's certain ways that you can go about doing this. And they do have a good mentor quarterback there. Like, let's not forget, 2 years ago, Joe Flacco took the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs. Like, it's not like they've been terrible or anything like that. Like, Joe Flacco was able to get that stuff going. Now, my question to you is, if Cleveland is anywhere near the playoff hunt halfway through the season, you can't make that decision to start the rookies, can you?
No, that's tough because you want to go with the leadership. And Skinny Joe, he's done a good job in relief, whether it be Indianapolis. He's been winning. I mean, he looked decent. I mean, he has his moments. He's not a young buck like he was years ago and as good as he was a long time ago. But I'd like to go with the MVP, the Super Bowl MVP, over somebody that has no experience at all.
I also don't think that there's a scenario where the Browns are in the playoff picture because if you look at their schedule, they start the season against the Bengals. We'll call that a loss. Then they got the Ravens. We'll call that a loss. Then they've got the Packers. We're going to call that a loss. Then they got the Lions. We call that a loss. They got the Vikings. We can call that a loss. They got the Steelers. We can call that a loss. Then they bring in the Dolphins and the Patriots and then the Jets. those 3 games could be wins for Cleveland, depending on how bad Miami is. I think the Patriots are going to be a pretty good team this year. The Jets are just absolute dog shit. So there's a real possibility here that the Browns can start the season off like 0-9.
Oh, yeah.
Before they get anything going here. And then if that's the case, even if you are 0-9, you really don't want to bring those rookies into that, do you?
No, it's tough. I mean, you could argue that maybe you want to get them ready to play for next season, even if it is all garbage time. But you could also argue, well, do I really want to get them hurt? And especially if you're 0-9, there's a reason why. It's probably because you have a lousy offensive line too, so you put your future in jeopardy. But I'm one of these people that says, look, you got to give them time eventually. You got to groom them for the following year. If I'm 0-9, if I'm absolute garbage, I'm throwing them in there, even if it's for a quarter or two, just to say, welcome to the NFL, fellas.
Get those reps.
Get those reps.
Because those reps are super important.
Because those are invaluable, and they'll prepare you for the future.
So when we look at the Cleveland Browns and we look at like everything that kind of surrounds them, the circus that is Shedeur Sanders and the media that's covering Shedeur, not necessarily him, but just because of the name, because of who he is, there's always going to be that era of speculation around him and all that stuff. But they're also a bad team. It feels like just real quickly those headlines would be able to, and if Joe Flacco comes out and isn't great, the most popular guy on the football team is always the backup quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like it's going to be enhanced extra with Shedeur Sanders being there. And I feel like the noise is just going to be a lot, especially for a team that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It is going to be a lot. And again, we are anticipating that they're going to be garbage. And because they play in such a challenging division, that itself is going to be difficult for them, because even if they were a good team, that would be a tough division to compete in with the likes of Cincy and, of course, Baltimore. With all that said, though, it's to be determined, again, how bad they truly are. I mean, they could, you're predicting they're going to be epically bad based off of what you're saying. And, I mean, again, I wouldn't be surprised. They could be really a bad team. Ultimately, though, I think that it's good to have a guy. They did what no one else wanted to do for some reason, pick up Shedeur Sanders. And again, I think he looked good initially, and I feel that he has a lot of potential for the future.
It feels like it's pile on the Cleveland Browns time now, because I don't know if you remember, that second game was against Baltimore. That's going to be Baltimore's home opener against the Cleveland Browns. And they are going with an epic troll job. The Baltimore Ravens are here, celebrating their 30 years in Baltimore against the Cleveland Browns, the team they used to be. They are celebrating. Look at the success we've had once we left you, Cleveland, you dumpster fire. Like, once we left you, we moved over here and got all the success. Can you think of a better troll job than that? Because I know the Eagles opening up against the Cowboys, it's to show off the ring, it's to show off the championship banner. But to show the city that you left, look how happy we are over here. Just feels like it's a little more of a punch to the gut.
Yeah, I mean, that's rough. That's rough, and no pun intended, rough, the Browns, that's going to be, the ultimate slap in the face. And, of course, really, since the Browns became the Browns again in 99, they've done what? Jack squat, absolutely nothing in 26 years. And as opposed to Baltimore, well, we know they've been pretty damn good since they said, screw you, Cleveland, and won 2 Super Bowls and really been competitive just about every year since. I mean, they've been a very respectable organization, and that hurts. That hurts. I mean, you can say it doesn't hurt, but it hurts bad. So that's the ultimate middle finger, huh?
That's 100% that.
It's like, hey, screw you.
Ashley Candelaria, her daughter Sid, is a Cleveland Browns fan. They're saying they need the headlines because otherwise no one will talk about them. Hope that Shedeur Sanders can keep his head down and just learns. If he gets to play, show up, and hopefully he looks good. And that's my thing, man. Like, I don't wish anything bad on the Browns, because it's like picking on, again, it's the easy target to pick on, right? Like, they're the Browns. It would be like what Stephen A. does, where he's like, oh, the Cowboys aren't going to win the Super Bowl. Congratulations, you chose 31 other teams to win. What a limb to go out on, right? It's just like picking on the Cleveland Browns is that exact same thing. It takes nothing to be able to do that. But I also feel like they're set up like their future isn't even that bright. Like, I like Dylan Gabriel. I think Shedeur Sanders could be okay. But you look at the rest of that team, and they're so bad. And then they get to be welcomed into Baltimore with the ultimate middle finger of, look how happy we are over here. It's again, bringing your ex over to like your 20th anniversary. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird thing to do.
Look what you've missed out on all these years, honey. You know, what do you think about this? You're all, they kind of screw you over in that respect, don't they?
100%.
That is so funny,
100%.
man. That is so funny. You want to talk about the ultimate slap in the face. That is the absolute ultimate slap in the face. And I mean, it would be something, hey, I mean, if Cleveland had done anything over these last years, I mean, how many times have they even made the playoffs in 26 years?
Not I know more than there a handful of times. Like the last
times.
I can't say the last time because the last time was Joe Flacco. But whenever they made it with Baker Mayfield, let's not forget they were an overtime 4th and 1 play away from making an AFC Championship game, which just sounds absolutely ridiculous because they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers that year. Patrick Mahomes went out. I can't remember who the backup was. I want to say it was Matt Castle, but I'm not 100%
sure. Yeah.
And Matt Castle goes with the fake handoff and runs like a yard and a half to basically seal the win for the Kansas City Chiefs in overtime.
Yeah. I remember that.
That's how close they've been. Like if that goes another way, we're talking about this franchise a completely different way.
Yeah.
They make it to an AFC Championship game by beating the vaunted Kansas City Chiefs, who are now the Super Bowl champions with Baker Mayfield. Like, I don't think they would have moved on from Baker Mayfield.
No, I don't think so. I mean, and look at what Mayfield's doing with Tampa Bay now. He's become a respectable quarterback with all the weapons, and he's got that new kid whose name's hard to pronounce. How do you say it? Ungan something? He's supposed to be really good. And, of course, Godwin coming back, probably a month or so with the ACL. Or
Mike
Achilles.
Evans
is still there. They got
Bucky
that.
Irvin's a really good running back.
Irvin's great. Otten is a good tight end. They got a lot to look forward to there, Tampa Bay, and it really kicks your ass more than anything else when you let a guy like Mayfield go and then he flourishes with somebody else.
Our dude Tommy Cananzo tuning in saying, "What's good, Tip? What's good, Tommy? Hope that you're having yourself a fantastic day here. We are over here at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive on the west side of El Paso. They've got a whole brand new menu of options. We'll go over that in just a little bit. Tommy also saying, what's up, Brandon? Hoping that you're having a good day as well as the Iceman is hanging out with me here at Buffalo Wild Wings. The argument was brought up, and I wanted to get your opinion on this because I feel like we always have a good debate whenever it comes to these types of things, Brandon. Is Jameis Winston a bust? A former number 1 overall draft pick, right? Bounced around. This is his 4th team now with the New York Giants. Never got it to that second major contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay moves on. They bring in Tom Brady, which is a genius move to do. Bring in Tom Brady, win themselves a Super Bowl, and it just seems like ever since then, Jameis has been just bouncing around. Is Jameis Winston a bust?
No, Johnny Football was a bust, but Jameis Winston is not a bust, and I'll tell you why. I'll give you 3 reasons. Number 1, when he's on, and he's a typical really good NFL quarterback when he plays well. Secondly, he's been in the league for a long time, and you're not a bad player if you've been able to sustain a long NFL career.
And for the most part, he was a starter.
Absolutely. And lastly, I was going to say he's a starting quarterback. He's still doing well. He's not a dependable dude. Has he lived up to all the hype? No. But my philosophy is if you're good enough to have sustained that longevity in this league and to actually show you can play, then there's under no circumstances are you a bust.
And then I juxtapose that to we're talking about, number 1 overall picks, number 2 overall picks, especially at the quarterback position. Look at who was picked, if you remember, right after Jameis Winston. It was Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
And I would say you'd much rather have Jameis Winston's career than Marcus Mariota's
Absolutely.
career.
I 100% over again. We'll talk about it like Jameis Winston's the only guy that can throw 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in the same game. But, I mean, from a fantasy perspective, he'll drive you nuts. But from an actual real-life quarterback perspective, you need somebody on the fly. That dude can get you a win. He's pretty good.
He makes it fun.
He does.
Right? And you kind of feel like if Jameis Winston's your quarterback, even the same thing last year with Cleveland.
You got a chance.
They were in games.
You got a chance, man.
Right?
It's like having Joe Flacco there. I mean, you got to love the journeyman veteran guy that, hey, man, my guy just went down. Get your ass in there and win a game for us or get us to the playoffs. I mean, you can't ask for a better scenario with a QB.
Tommy Canazzo saying if Winston was drafted 23rd or something like that, I'd say no, but he was the number 1 overall pick, and his career has been very disappointing. Then I bring this one to you, another number 1 overall pick on his 4th team now, Baker Mayfield.
So Baker Mayfield's a very interesting scenario, and I say that because I think it's the ultimate fairy tale story in the respect that he was supposed to be a lot better earlier in his career, but sometimes you just need to go through a few different organizations to where you absolutely flourish. And, it was hard to, what's the encore for Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl in Tampa? Well, we're going to bring Mayfield, who it seemed like nobody else wanted him.
And those are some huge shoes to fill.
And you know what? He had a career year last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think potentially he's going to have a career year this year. And so, under no circumstances am I disappointed with the career that Baker Mayfield has had, if I'm a Mayfield fan or even a Buccaneers fan. I mean, anywhere he's gone, he has had success at times.
And now I guess this will be my final number 1 overall draft pick that I'm bringing up that we're asking questions about.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray entering his 7th season in the NFL now.
So Kyler Murray's another interesting prospect. I feel that Kyler Murray still has a decent amount of gas in the tank, and I feel that he's starting to get some weapons around him. Obviously, he's been bitten by the injury bug, so that hasn't helped his career. That's kind of derailed his career at some times. I don't know that I think he's a stellar QB, but I believe that Harrison's going to have a better season. I believe they have one of the best tight ends in the league, and I believe that he can just absolutely blow it up on the ground. So I'm okay with Kyler Murray. Is he going to live up to that number 1 overall potential? To be determined still. I don't necessarily think so, but I don't hate Kyler Murray. I really don't.
So out of those 3 teams, right, we can say Jameis Winston, obviously the backup right now for the New York Giants. The New York Giants are going nowhere. Tampa Bay, we have playoff expectations
no
and
doubt,
aspirations.
especially in that shitty division.
What about Arizona, right? Because I feel like, especially as we're watching the Rams right now, if the injury that Matt Stafford has is as severe as it could potentially be, like a back with an older quarterback, that could be a major issue going forward. If Stetson Bennett's your quarterback,
I don't know about that.
With LA, with the Rams, that kind of brings them down a little bit. We saw yesterday San Francisco traded for Brian Robinson Jr. from the Washington Commanders for a 6th-round pick. That's going to bolster their running game to help out with Christian McCaffrey, who just seems to always be hurt.
Yes, always.
That division with now Seattle, with Sam Darnold, with Jackson Smith and Najigma, like they've got a solid team up in Seattle as well. And now Kyler Murray, like you said, they have, I can't remember his name, the tight end.
Oh, gosh, I love that kid, too. Trey McBride.
There we go, Trey McBride.
I love that kid.
Trey McBride. And then they have, like you said, Marvin Harrison
Jr.
They've got James Conner there. Like
Conner is a great back. They've got a good back.
They've got the pieces there, right?
They have all the pieces.
And again, this is the big caveat. If the issue to Matt Stafford is more severe than what we're thinking it is,
even more
that
for them
door's open
to
for that entire division.
In San Francisco, we left our heart in San Francisco. I mean, it's like every year, sure, they can either make the Super Bowl or be garbage. And I don't know, what I expect. They lost Deebo Samuel. They lost some weapons this year. And obviously there's always a big question mark with McCaffrey. I mean, he looks better than ever. Yeah, wait till week 3, when he gets hit. You know what I mean? He hasn't been hit yet. He looks great. Yeah. I'm really shocked, But yeah, Robinson Jr. was a good acquisition for them, a good insurance policy. But the long story short of it is that division is wide open. I mean, Seattle's going to be decent, but you lose Metcalf and what happens there. But I certainly think the quarterback situation isn't bad. And I think Walker II could have a good season at running back. And I think Seattle's going to be a player in that division. I certainly like Arizona. I don't hate Arizona right now, that's for sure.
I was about to say, like, I went division whenever I was doing the tipping point, right? I was like, this is what these teams are going to do, division. And I feel like I disrespected the Arizona Cardinals because I had them finishing 3rd.
Yeah, I don't think I would put them down that far. Well, who'd you have winning the division? Frisco?
I had the Rams winning the division. I had San Francisco last.
And how long ago was this?
This was a couple of weeks ago. This
was
before the Matt Stafford.
And of course, if Stafford's
out, if Stafford's there,
if he's there, they're as good as he gets, especially with Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
And
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams, a great 1-2 punch. Williams, a great running back. Yeah. Very good Kyron Williams. Good defensive team. But again, how severe is the Stafford injury? That's the big question.
And that's the thing. Like, if Stafford's there, there's your caveat again, the big caveat. If Stafford's there, he's head and shoulders the best quarterback in that division. If he's not, we're talking about a division that Sam Darnold, Kyler Murray, Brock Purdy, who I still think has a ton of question marks around him.
I still like Brock Purdy, though.
And then Stetson Bennett the 3rd or 4th.
The fourth.
Might as well
Stetson
make
Bennett
him the
fourth.
fifth.
Yeah, why not, right? Have like that division right there. If again Matt Stafford cannot go the whole season, it's anybody's division, including San Francisco. And like I had San Francisco being the worst team of that division by far.
Yeah.
Like I thought they had, the mass exodus of players they had, the stuff like that. But if they could bring in now Brian Robinson to help them out with that run game, you have Christian McCaffrey that doesn't have to carry the entire load. And I feel like that division, once again, if Matt Stafford's hurt, you could win that division with 8 or 9 wins.
Absolutely. It becomes a very winnable division because, again, a team is only as good as their quarterback, and especially if that's the biggest waste in the NFL, is it not? You have all these great weapons, and you don't have a damn quarterback. I mean, if that is not a slap in the face, I really don't know what is.
And I would – but there's some teams, right, that are quarterback proof. We were talking about this on the show earlier this week as well, like Minnesota.
Don't you know?
It doesn't matter who you put at quarterback back there.
They seem to win.
You've got a solid enough
interesting.
core.
It's a very interesting philosophy, and a core is great. A core is great, but I don't know about Stetson Bennett. I just don't know.
But again, like Puka Nacua,
at least
Kyron Williams, it's good.
But I mean, keep in mind that last year with their quarterback situation, you were looking forward to what was going to be that we'll see this year, but you did still have a veteran, a guy that's been around the block, that was really able to take care of business. That was very impressive.
The Crooked Commish joining us here in the chat as well. Tommy Cananza saying that Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray are not career backups. Dude, neither was Jameis Winston.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's not forget, like, whenever he was in New Orleans, they were a playoff contending team, right? It's the Jameis Winston experience you get. Last year, he's in Cleveland. The 1 year that he's in Cleveland, he has to be the backup because the money that they're paying Deshaun Watson. He came in, and again, that team loved him. Like he's a locker room dude. Everyone loves Jameis Winston. Like he's got an amazing media career if he decides to do that whenever he retires.
Sure.
Like he could retire right now, and I think Fox or ESPN or something like that would hire him because he's just such a likable personality. He's not been a career backup. This is going to be the second year out of a 10-year career that he's been a backup. You cannot call Jameis Winston a career backup.
He is not a career backup. I mean, as of late, he's been that backup, but overall, like I said, he has definitely flourished in certain situations.
Yeah.
And been very impressive. I mean,
and honestly, I think I would take him in Dallas as the backup. Like I had high expectations for Joe Milton.
Wasn't it in New Orleans where he just came in and he looked good?
Yeah.
I mean, he was winning them games recently and looking good doing it. And the most impressive thing about a guy that's a starter and then goes into the backup role and whatnot is how well they could perform after not playing for who knows how many games.
I feel like Tommy just hates Jameis Winston.
Apparently so.
Right? He's saying Winston hasn't earned a starting role since he was drafted. The only reason he started games outside of Tampa Bay is because of injuries. I guess you could say that, but then again, like I think a lot of teams out there, if Jameis Winston were their backup quarterback and their starting quarterback went down, sure you'd have, and maybe I love him because he's a prototypical gunslinging quarterback. He's gonna risk the biscuit, baby. Like that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna get you 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, and 5,000 yards, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what he's going to do. But I think if you were your backup quarterback, and like Dallas, if Dallas had him last year as opposed to Cooper Rush, I think they probably would have been a little more competitive because he can stretch the field. Like no one can doubt the arm talent that Jameis Winston has. Between the ears, maybe not all there, but the arm talent, all that stuff. Like you would love to have him as your backup quarterback. And again, I bring it up because I was watching highlights. I didn't get to watch the whole game. I kind of watched a little bit yesterday with the Dallas Cowboys, but I was watching the highlights. Coming into the preseason, I was all in on Joe Milton being the backup. He is objectively not good. Like just not good at all.
No, he really that's one of those things where boy, you're really putting all your eggs in one basket.
It makes me really feel like they should have just kept Trey Lance.
Yeah, I mean, as strange as that is to say, yeah, because you need a reliable backup. I mean, especially as injury prone as Dak is. That's just you're really playing Russian roulette with your organization for the year.
And maybe it's because like maybe Joe Milton, we haven't seen him with the ones, right? Like maybe you throw the ball up there. CeeDee Lamb can do what like your fifth wide receiver cannot do, right? Like he's a different. George Pickens is basically a number one masquerading as a number two, right? Maybe if Joe Milton was there with the number ones, it would look different. But given the opportunities we've seen this dude have, it's bad.
It's bad.
It's
real bad.
Been real bad. Tommy Canazzo saying, I actually don't hate Jameis Winston. I like him. He seems like a fun guy to be around. I just think he's considered a bust, in my opinion, because of how high he was drafted. And it's so hard for me to say that you could spend – was he drafted in 13?
I think so. I
right?
think it sounds about, that's a long career.
12 years in the NFL.
Like, not bad.
Yeah, but it's double digits as far as years go in the NFL. And again, you look at the person that he was juxtaposed with, which was Marcus Mariota. You would take Jameis Winston over Marcus Mariota
2015
all the time. Who were the quarterbacks that were drafted? If you could look that up for me real quick, Brandon.
In 2015?
In 2015. Who were the other quarterbacks that were drafted there with him? Because I want to say that was a weak quarterback class. And there's a real possibility Jameis Winston might be the best quarterback out of them all. Mm-hmm. Watch Goff or someone. No, because Goff was the number one overall, wasn't he?
Yeah. So Brett Hundley from UCLA.
Nope.
Jameis Winston, Bryce Petty, Marcus Mariota, bust. Sean Mannion. I don't even know who the hell is Sean Mannion. Mannion, Mannion.
So it's
Garrett Grayson. I remember Grayson, but Hundley, he played here in the Sun Bowl for UCLA, career backup with Green Bay, I think, right?
Yeah.
Petty. Have you heard of Bryce Petty?
I have not.
So I haven't even heard of most of these dudes, you know?
It's weird to say that Jameis Winston could be the best quarterback out of his draft class.
But it was a very weak draft class, so I mean that shouldn't even count.
But we're talking about, you got to remember, man, Jameis Winston with Florida State was a juggernaut.
Oh my God!
And the same thing with
Didn't he lead them to
Mariota.
the national championship.
Yeah, and the same thing with like Mariota and was it Oregon, right? Mariota was with Oregon. Like those were two like can't miss prospects, just like it was with RG3 and Andrew Luck and like all that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, Jameis Winston lasted longer than RG3, lasted longer than
Luck didn't stay very long.
Like it's Jameis Winston's a guy.
He's good. I like Jameis Winston. I've never hated Jameis Winston. And again, you know, that's the thing is very few. Go ahead.
Tommy Canazzo saying that was a weak quarterback class for sure. And then the Cricket Commission reminding us that Bryce played for the Jets. He was a backup.
Jets.
How bad do you have to be if you can't beat out Sam Darnold?
How many of these overall number one picks have really ever panned out to being as good as they were supposed to be? I mean, that very rare. If you look at an NFL history, geez, what is there, a handful maybe that have panned out to be great?
And then here comes the question of that, right? Like if we're going to say someone can have a long career in the NFL and they could be a bust, then Vinny Testaverde was a bust because he didn't reach any of the potential that he got as a number one overall pick.
Won a ring.
Did he?
Won his backup with the Cowboys in I think it was 93.
Vinny Testaverde was?
Yeah, he sure did.
There's no way.
I swear. Let me
There's
look at this.
no way.
Obviously, you don't remember. Vinny. I remember.
I remember Vinny being on the Cowboys in like the early 2000s. Yeah. Whenever they were going through the Andy Dufresne pile of shit they had to go through from Aikman to Romo.
Oh, geez. No, was it? I thought it was Vinny. Who was it then? It was a Cleveland Browns quarterback.
Bernie Kosar.
Bernie Kosar. Yeah. Okay, you got me there. That was Bernie Kosar, you know? Yeah, I remember that. Everybody was happy that he got a ring. Remember that?
Yep. And then Tommy Collins saying, you tend to last 10 years plus when you're sitting on the bench. Gives me the laughing emoji saying, nope, you are wrong, sir. I think he's talking to you about Vinny Testaverde being on the Dallas Cowboys in the 1993 season.
Okay, yes, that was Bernie Kosar. Good old Bernie, what a ring. That's what I meant, you know? That's funny.
I haven't watched this Dallas Cowboys documentary.
I started watching it. I'm on episode 3.
What are your initial thoughts here? Obviously, like, I don't think there's such a thing as a spoiler whenever you already know, right? So I don't think like we can say spoiler alert, but I think you should already know, especially if you're a Cowboys fan. What are your initial thoughts on this?
So far, I've enjoyed what I've seen. I mean, it's funny because it kind of brings up things that you forgot about because it happened so long ago. And I just feel that it's interesting. You know, what really makes me think more than anything else is how well Jerry Jones started everything. You know, it's like, 35 years ago, he just started and they just was brilliantly run the organization as the GM's perspective and yada, yada. And everything he did was right. And then the last 30 years have been garbage. But I mean, I haven't even gotten that far yet. So I've really gotten to episode 3 where they had just gotten Emmitt Smith. They had traded away Herschel Walker. But I mean, it's crazy to think how long, Tom Landry and their GM at the time were there for. It was like 26 or 27. It was like 28 years or something. That team was like so blah. It's amazing, and how everybody hated this guy from Arkansas, this hick from Arkansas, as they called it.
Well, you also have to remember, like, the only reason why, because he was the low bidder on the thing, the only reason why he was able to win the franchise is because he was the only one that was like, yeah, I'll fire Tom Landry.
Yeah, exactly. and yeah, I mean,
you're talking about coming in and playing the heel right away.
That guy was so popular in Dallas. They actually had a going away parade for him. And it's like, geez, like how well loved was him? And everybody hated the idea of bringing in Jimmy Johnson, even though he had just won a national championship at the U. And, they're like, man, these two guys are going to screw everything up. But it's just incredible how well run the organization was, obviously, right away. I mean, literally a couple of years later, they were making it to the second round of the playoffs against Detroit and losing, right? It's like, people need not forget how great of a job he truly did from the get-go.
So I've heard people talking about it, and a lot of the stuff they were talking about was that Jerry Jones is taking the credit for Jimmy Johnson's job as far as like creating the roster. Jimmy Johnson, at least to the best of my knowledge, didn't have like GM abilities. Like, he was just the coach, right? Like, it was Jerry Jones making the trades, doing all those deals, or did Jimmy Johnson have like a major say in, we have to get rid of Herschel Walker to bring in all these trade pieces?
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Johnson certainly deserves a lot of credit because of the fact that nobody in their right mind saw them trading away the great Herschel Walker, who was the best player in the NFL at the time. But it was Jimmy Johnson that really was the one that told Michael Irvin, you're going to be drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. I may be going over there. And that's in the very first episode. So to me, that was great in terms of making sure that they set up their receiver for the future. And then, of course, Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith. And then one of the biggest things that they talk about, which is to me great, is when they brought in, oh my gosh, it just escaped me from San Francisco. Charles Haley, the nutball that the Niners didn't want anymore after winning 2 Super Bowls. And all the stories that they tell you about Charles Haley. But that they brought him, they've always been bringing in the suspect players, but he was the one that really got them over the hump defensively. And it's like, man, all these little stories. And again, I'm sitting there watching some of it last night, but Jerry Jones certainly was the one willing to spend the money and was willing to do all the necessary things as the GM. He did have some say in it. He had a lot of say in it. But Jimmy Johnson, he was the mastermind behind those early 90s Super Bowl teams. It was very interesting so far.
So but is that stated, right? Like, is that something that you can tell really in the documentary?
I mean, I don't think, and again,
or is it like a Jerry Jones, like, self-fellatiating type of documentary?
I don't know that it's Jerry Jones self-fellatiating. I feel that it's he's kind of talking about how he risked everything to acquire the Cowboys and how, he was broke. He was broke, and he hit oil. He had the one oil well that hit $100 million. And that's what he ended up using to buy the Cowboys with. And obviously was a very risky purchase because the Cowboys weren't worth the shit. They hadn't been good since the 70s,
I had seen an article because, like, I was going through a lot of these things. I was talking about, like, whenever Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys, I'm doing my own research on some stuff before I watch the documentary. That's kind of how I do a lot of these things. And there was an article talking about how Donald Trump said that Jerry Jones will never get his money back because the Dallas Cowboys will never be a premier franchise in the NFL.
And what's funny is, as much as everybody wants to say they hate Jerry Jones today, y'all should be thanking your lucky stars, no pun intended, that Jerry Jones was the guy that bought the Cowboys in the late 80s. Because let's face it, who knows where in the Sam hell this organization would have gone had ownership not changed and somebody else bought the team, because he really did do the incredible. I mean, I'm sorry. He did do the incredible in terms of making this team relevant again and one of the greatest of all time.
Well, look at how, like, ostentatious you have to be to come in and, like, your first thing is, we're firing a legend.
It's tough.
Right? Like, he was the only coach in Dallas Cowboys history
Yeah.
Right? Like just objectively.
But it needed to be done. It absolutely needed to be done. I mean, like they said, there was no spunk anymore with Tom Landry. He was just kind of there. He was forgetting players' names. He didn't know their names. He was forgetting the plays he called. He was long in the tooth, and it was time for him to go.
Destiny saying WTF. Are we talking about? Is it because Brandon has usurped me in the role of the person that's the Jerry Jones defender here? Because normally it's me. Like
busting his balls.
I no, I'm always the one that's like, no. Jerry isn't as bad as some of y'all are making it seem.
I mean, look, I can't stand him nowadays, any more than anyone else can.
There we go.
Just because he's not a GM and he's too much of a nutcase, and he makes weird calls and decisions, and they haven't done anything for years. But you have to love him, though. I mean, you have a love-hate relationship with him.
Destiny going back to the Donald Trump comments of that the Dallas Cowboys will never get Jerry Jones his money back, as they are currently worth $12 billion.
Now?
Dollars.
God, how much did he pay for him? $100 million?
$150 million.
Amazing, dude.
You talk about making your money back.
They are the most valued franchise in the world, and they're one of the most popular franchises in the world.
The Crooked Commish, I was on the Fantasy Football Hour with him with the Chicago Clubhouse Network on Wednesday. It was a great time being on there with him. He is saying Jerry Jones, a.k.a. the Crypt Keeper. I had mentioned this previously. I don't know if you've ever seen Futurama. I haven't watched a lot of it, but I remember the heads cryogenically in that fluid that would still tell you all the things they wanted you to do. That's going to be Jerry Jones. Yeah. He will never die. He will always be in charge of the Dallas Cowboys somehow, even if it's just a floating head in a jar. Yeah. He will find a way to do it.
Oh, yeah. That's Jerry Jones for you.
He's got the money.
He does. He's a billionaire, man, worth a lot of money. You got to love it with Jerry Jones. You really do. I mean, I think it's comical, but, I don't hate him. I can't help but to not hate the guy. I can't help it.
And I've said it a few times too, right? If you approach any team, say for maybe the Patriots, and you tell them you'll win 3 out of the next 4 championships over a 34-year span, but you're going to go 30 years without winning the championship.
You'll take
You're
it.
taking that.
You'll take it. Yeah, you'll take it.
Yeah.
So you'll take it.
So for me, and this is a thing that happened to me as well. So Tuesday, I've been on a lot of podcasts over the last couple of days. On Tuesday, I was on the Buzz podcast. Shout out to them; they're the ones that did the pillow fights. So that was really awesome being a part of them. But I was on with the Buzz podcast, and their main host Cujo is a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and he comes at me with "How do you feel that there are 30-year-olds that have never seen the Dallas Cowboys be successful?" To which I had to reply to him. Up until 2019, was that the first time the Chiefs won the Super Bowl?
Sounds about right, yeah.
There were 50-year-olds that had never seen them win a Super Bowl.
Sure.
So, all these teams go through these ebbs and flows and things like that. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys mirror each other a lot with the fact that they've had long-term ownership, right? The Hunt family has owned the Kansas City Chiefs forever. Jerry Jones has owned the Dallas Cowboys forever. Steven is going to take it over eventually if, by some miracle, the Grim Reaper were to find a way to get Jerry Jones. Then Steven Jones would take it over.
Yeah.
But all these franchises have had long, just periods of time without winning Super Bowls. You can even go to the Patriots. Until they won their first Super Bowl, it was 30-plus seasons of not winning a Super Bowl.
They had been there a couple times, but they had lost both times.
Yeah. The Minnesota Vikings, again, I've gone over this list before. There's, I want to say, 18 teams that have Super Bowl droughts longer than the Dallas Cowboys. Why is the Dallas Cowboys the one that we always focus on?
Oh, because we know they're the Cowboys.
They're America's team.
When you're America's team, people hate to admit it, but they're the most popular franchise in the NFL.
Despite what Donald Trump said in 1989.
They're the most possible. They're the most popular franchise in the world.
They'll never be good.
They'll always be garbage. Who wants to buy them? He'll never make any money.
Jesus Christ, man. You talk about that's a different conversation for another time. I'm not going to talk about it.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to stir up the pot.
Paint the wall black.
Yes, let's disregard it.
That's so stupid. Anyway, the Cricket Commission saying here, that may have been the only time that guy's been wrong. Which guy?
I guess he means Trump.
That I hope that was said facetiously and with sarcasm, because woof.
Trump, is he ever wrong? No,
not ever.
Never.
My list just disappears too. Anyway, with the Dallas Cowboys in this documentary, I think it's cool because it's nostalgic for us that are like long-term Cowboys fans. You finally get the whole thing of like, you don't have to watch the Super Bowl on a VCR. Shut up. That joke is so damn outplayed, right? Like let's just move on.
It is funny.
But it is cool to see, that nostalgic moment. But it also, in my mind, I think the reason why I've been hesitant to watch it is I think it's going to piss me off because for the 30 years after that, it's objectively bad.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, what constitutes a successful season for the Dallas Cowboys this year? Like realistically, you can say Super Bowl or bust.
No,
that cannot be the expectation.
That's not. I just winning a couple playoff games. I mean, winning a couple playoff games, making it to the conference championship, because at least getting farther than they have in years past, where they've been a number one seed. They got beat by the Giants in the second round or Green Bay. Making it to the NFC Championship game would the only thing, in my opinion, that would constitute a successful season.
The current commissioner saying it was total sarcasm. I'm just trying to stay alive and off of the ice list. One of these days, if I ever disappear, you know the reason why. It's because I keep doing the Trump voice. I got to stop it.
I love it. I think it's funny. I like the Trump voice. You're the one that got me doing that.
We got Shedeur Sanders is going in right now. Ashley Candelaria keeping us up to date on what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. They currently have a 16-7 lead over the LA Rams. The day for Dylan Gabriel is done. It's 13 minutes to go in the third quarter. Shedeur Sanders going in right now. Again, we brought this up a couple of days ago. Shedeur Sanders had the 60% completion percentage. I want to see that higher.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Like, I'm good with the touchdowns. Get the points and stuff. Take control of the ball. Do the things you're supposed to do. But let's get that completion percentage higher, and then maybe I'll be one of these guys. It's like, man, put him in. Let's see what he can do.
Why not? He's a great mobile quarterback. Absolutely. I mean, it's going to take time. Rome wasn't built in a day. Look at how with Lamar Jackson, how he's always been the essential rushing quarterback, one of the best, but it's taken him a while to master the art of being a good touchdown thrower.
And the same thing with Josh Allen, right? Like, let's not forget the first couple of years with Josh Allen, it was
kind of rough.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was
now he's the best quarterback in the NFL.
I remember the playoff game against, I want to say it was the Houston Texans, where he tries to throw a 40-yard go route to a fullback.
Yeah.
And it was like, what are we doing, Josh Allen? Like, that's not where you want your fullback to be. Let's just check it down. Let's do some of this stuff. But whenever you've got that absolute cannon, you trust that absolute cannon. That's probably the Joe Milton problem, is that he has a rocket of an arm and just doesn't, not every throw needs to be a fastball.
No, of course not. No, that's we know that he's able to throw it, but again, accuracy is a lot more important than throwing it hard. That's for sure.
Our University of Texas at El Paso Miners are going to be in action next week against Utah State. How excited are we?
Extremely.
For this upcoming UTEP season?
I mean, it's another year. It's another hopeful year. I mean, what
you started off with, well, there's games.
They play, at least it's football. I don't know how excited am I going to be. I mean, if you win 4 games, good job. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than there's expectations. There's with the new quarterback situation, there is a glimmer of hope.
Yes.
In 2023, he was the number 1 recruit. I think that's good. I feel that because of the transfer, it's a double-edged sword. It's good and bad. And this year it was good because he knew he would get a chance to play at UTEP versus other bigger schools. I hope he can do well. I hope he can flourish. I believe this could be a decent team. We'll have to see.
I love that the expectation is they could be decent.
Well, I mean, how am I supposed to say, and that's the thing is that
12-0 with a national championship, baby.
UTEP's also the place where good players go to die sometimes. So,
I mean,
there's a little bit of that, this and that. It could be a bad situation too. But I mean, what am I going to say?
So
they play well.
I had mentioned this on the tipping point earlier. We were going over the UTEP schedule. The penultimate game for the UTEP Miners, their last game at home this season, before they go on to that rivalry that spans the decades versus Delaware, is going to be against New Mexico State. And I want to find a way for us to get Fire and Ice out there tailgating prior to the game We'll get a tent. We'll do all the stuff. I want to find a way to get Buffalo Wild Wings
We'll have
on
a
out
grease.
there. Yeah, but like Buffalo Wild Wings to cater it.
That's why
We invite people on out there to join us.
See when that game is.
I want to say it's November 8th.
It's November, yeah, it is.
It's got to be in November. It can't be,
Yeah.
But that's one thing. The last home game for our UTEP Miners that we are embracing fully and completely.
November 22nd.
November 22nd.
Damn,
Oh, that's going to be
late in the season.
That's going to be it's the second to last game.
Yeah, then they're at their historic rival Delaware. The last game of the year.
I told people 1869 Rutgers versus Princeton. That following day was UTEP versus Delaware. Most people don't know that.
That's interesting. Really?
Yeah.
Really? You're funny. 1869. I had to think about that for a minute. I didn't know this program's been around that long. What are we, like an Ivy League school?
Walter Camp was a UTEP coach at the time. Yes, that's exactly how it was. The rivalry between UTEP and Delaware spans not just decades,
great rivalry,
but through the millennia.
Who doesn't love Delaware? Who doesn't love the first state?
El Paso's as big as Rhode Island, right? Like maybe a little bigger.
Oh yeah. Well, I
know El Paso County for sure.
Rhode Island. I drove through Rhode Island in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So you've been to Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
It's very beautiful.
It is.
It's
beautiful
very,
beaches.
very tiny. Have you been to Newport?
Some people will say
it's very tiny.
I'm an expert on tiny.
I'm an expert on tininess. Now, have you been to Newport, Rhode Island, when you have to cross it via the bridge?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All the mansions and stuff.
Yes.
One of my favorite places in the U.S. Mm-hmm. Very beautiful little town.
I think we drove through there during the wintertime, so it wasn't as beautiful because it was just
I've only been there in the summer.
Must be nice.
But it's very nice because it's very New Englandish.
Yeah, and I think
Englandish.
that's what we would go to the beaches in Rhode Island. And stuff
that's great. You got to love the beaches in Rhode Island.
Great time.
I love Rhode Island.
Yes.
It's the ocean state.
Little Rhodey,
one of my favorite states.
Yes. I saw Super Troopers 3 was going to come out. Rhode Island made me think of Vermont.
Littering and you've been to Vermont, right?
Yes.
Beautiful state. One of my favorites.
We did the whole, like, you can do 5 states in 5 hours type thing.
You went to New Hampshire, Vermont,
if
Maine.
we drove 5 hours east in Texas, we're still in Texas.
You're still in
the middle of nowhere.
Still in the middle of nowhere.
Yep, and just desert surrounding you and no water to be seen for decades.
And Vermont's wonderful. I love Vermont.
It is.
That's where Ben and Jerry's is.
Is it?
The home of Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, wow. As a fat guy, I should know that.
I went to the Ben and Jerry's, the factory, and they have the ice cream grave. All the ice creams that have been retired, they have a grave for them,
I was like, what's going on here?
You know?
We're burying people with ice cream? Let me do this. I need to be in on this. Can you imagine just they like your coffin is open and there's just a tube of ice cream being shoved in there? I am down with that.
You're gonna go in style, man.
All kinds of shame glaze covering you as you get ready to die.
No, but I really do like New England, especially Vermont. Beetlejuice was filmed there.
Was it? I thought it was Maine.
East Corneth, Vermont.
I
have driven through East Corneth.
Fire and Ice. We lead El Paso Sports Talk Radio and talk about Vermont.
It's a nice place. If you haven't been there, go.
Okay, so like it looks like the Cleveland Browns punted a little early. Yeah, Shedeur Sanders on the sideline now. The Cleveland Browns punted. They moved on, stuff like that. What would constitute a successful season for Shedeur Sanders? Because again, we're looking at this dude as, I think the majority of us can say objectively, he was drafted in the wrong spot. He's not a 5th round quarterback. Like, the talent he has is a 1st, 2nd, maybe borderline 3rd, but definitely 1st or 2nd round quarterback. What constitutes success for Shedeur Sanders this season?
Well, I mean, if you come in there and you're able to win a couple games and you're able to look good doing it and you're able to show that you've made growth professionally, then I feel that could be a successful year for him, especially winning a couple games potentially. That's huge.
I love watching like these preseason games because you get to see like who the local broadcast team is for a lot of these teams, and seeing Joe Thomas, a Hall of Fame left tackle that spent his entire career in Cleveland, probably could have left and won a championship anywhere that he wanted to go, anytime that he wanted to go, as being a part of the broadcast team for the Cleveland Browns right now. I feel like Joe Thomas is just a glutton for pain.
Oh, for sure.
And disappointment.
He wants to keep seeing them lose, apparently.
Yeah. He's like, you lost for 20 years with me. Let's lose another 20
continue to
years.
lose again. Let's continue to watch mediocrity at best. Mediocrity.
Mediocrity at best. Well, like again, UTEP and Cleveland Browns, very parallel existence.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Except
Yeah.
if UTEP were
The
to
crap of the crap.
if UTEP were to leave overnight.
Well, thank you.
Would anyone notice?
You still have New Mexico State.
Just go a couple miles up the road. You'll get
You'll
maybe
get
a slightly better program.
You'll get 2 bowl games with the one within the last 15 years or whatever.
Oh, dude, they've got to sometime. They've got to win a bowl game.
Hopefully.
Because New Mexico State has 2 in the last.
What
10
happens?
years.
What happens first? The Cowboys win the Super Bowl, or UTEP wins a bowl game?
Imagine being a Cowboys fan and a UTEP fan.
Oh God, like us.
I'm a UTEP supporter.
Like me. I mean, I'm a fan. I went to school there, graduated.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, Dave are yelling at us,
Whoa.
saying that UTEP doesn't fire their coaches as fast as the Cowboys do. Which again, I don't think we could say that. Like people were wanting Jerry to fire Mike McCarthy, and they were like, he fired him too late. Right? The same thing with Jason Garrett. He fired him too late.
You didn't get Bill Belichick. You didn't get this person.
Yeah,
you didn't get Deion Sanders.
I think Jerry's held on to coach other than Jimmy Johnson and Tom Landry. Other than those two, I feel like he's held on to dudes much longer than he probably should. We're talking about Chan Gailey and Dave Campo and people like that he held on to for a lot longer than what he probably should have.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Jerry Jones.
The GM of the year. GM of the year.
He is. He's built an amazing roster for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, he has.
But to answer your question, in all honesty, what happens first? The Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl or the UTEP Miners win a bowl game? The Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
UTEP, historically, 114 years of football that have been played at UTEP. We win 3 games a season.
Yeah.
At least the Dallas Cowboys, over the 30-year existence of this drought that we've been in, have been around 500 and have been to the playoffs. Can't say that much about UTEP. I think in the 30 years, I think we got to look at it. It's got to be like 3 bowl games that UTEP's made, maybe 4 bowl games since 1996.
Let's see. There were 3 with Price, right?
Was there 3 with Price?
Colorado. They did the game against Colorado, the Houston Bowl. Then he make 2 of the GMAC Bowl. Then he also did the New Mexico Bowl. So that's 3 with him. 1 with Kugler, the New Mexico Bowl, and then 1 with the was recently, like within the last the New Mexico Bowl again. But wasn't it?
Did Kugler go to 2 bowl games?
No. Kugler went to 1, but didn't Coach Dimmel go to 1 bowl game?
Oh, that's right.
So the late great Coach Dimmel went to the New Mexico Bowl. So 5 within the last 30 years.
To make it happen in honor of our friend Dana Dimmel, who we said whenever UTEP would make a bowl game that all 3 of us were going to show up in orange Speedos. Whenever we do the UTEP tailgate for New Mexico State, we've got to be in our orange Speedos.
Oh, man. I may miss that game.
I might have something going on here. Tommy Canazzo coming at me saying, other than the 2 Hall of Fame coaches that Jerry Jones fired super quick, he's held on to other guys much longer. Tommy, you're right. I was wrong in that one. Like other than firing Tom Landry and Jimmy Johnson, guys that have won multiple Super Bowls, did he hold on to Barry Switzer too long, or did Barry Switzer just like, I've won my bowl, I'm out?
I mean, you don't. How long do you ever hang on to a guy that wins a Super Bowl, albeit with Jimmy Johnson's team, too long? I mean, I don't know. I don't think he hung on too long. I mean, Barry Switzer was a great college coach, but in the end, I feel that I don't think he wore out his welcome or anything. He won a Super Bowl, and that's the whole thing that counts.
There's an author out there named Jeff Pearlman. He has written a book about the Dallas Cowboys, about that time with the Dallas Cowboys, documenting it so much of like Michael Irvin stabbing a teammate in the neck with a pair of scissors, and while he was on probation, and the Cowboys covering that thing up. Jeff Pearlman was talking about how Barry Switzer was out partying with the players the night before they win the Super Bowl because he said, and I quote, I don't know if I'm ever going to make it here again, so I might as well just.
He wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
He wasn't wrong, man. I mean, it's gotta love Barry Switzer. Yeah, gotta love Barry, and he's also in the documentary. So you can watch a documentary. I like it so far. Oh, it's cool.
Okay, so I got to work today, so I'm not watching it today. Sunday's going to be wide open. I feel like Sunday, it's 8 episodes. Are they an hour each?
I think, yeah, I'm on episode 3, so I have some time to go yet. I don't know.
So I think I'm just going to binge watch Dallas,
it's a
injecting into my veins.
Reminds
nothing
you
but
of the
Dallas
glory.
Cowboys
Reminds
propaganda.
You of the glory days.
All the propaganda of the Dallas Cowboys.
Uh-oh.
I feel like David's about to yell something at me. David, don't yell at me, please. Okay. So the Dallas Cowboys propaganda, I'm going to be watching that tomorrow. I'll go through the whole thing. I'll talk about it on Monday. Everyone, I want to thank you so much for tuning into today's show. Brandon, before we go, tell everybody about the new specials that are happening over here at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive.
Yes, so we have this brand new Ultimate Sampler for $16.99. You get to choose 4 mozzarella sticks, onion rings, cheese curds, everything, pretzel knots, fried pickles, bottomless wings, bone-in wings, crispy chicken appetizer like wings or boneless. I don't know what they are. They're like these crispy chicken dippers is what they're called. They look great. Pick 6 meal for 2 for $19.99. 2 entrees. You get a couple, of sides. You can add on dessert. You have fountain drinks that you get as well. And of course, the happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. and 9 to 11. You have $2 off all drafts, $6 apps, $5 premium drinks, $4 well drinks, and $3 shorty shots.
Next week, we'll see everybody. We're going to be in our orange Speedos. Brandon's not going to escape it. It's going to happen one way or another. It's going to happen. Orange Speedos for everybody. We'll see you all next week.